All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like to call this monthly meeting of the County Board of Education to order. We appreciate your presence with us, those of you who are here and those who have taken enough interest to watch from home. I've been made aware that there's an important baseball game at 7 o'clock tonight.
Yep.
I can't say that we'll be out of here by then, but we will certainly try and move things along so that Benji can go root on it.
Put that in the official record.
I thought you'd appreciate that. At this time, I'll turn it over to Mary Blunt Williams, who will lead us in the pledge and a moment of silence.
You all stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I also lead us all into a moment of silence. Can we bow, please? Father God, we ask you to watch over and protect our students and our families and our communities. We know that graduation is approaching and there are stresses and tests and a little bit of everything that's going on around us and our students at this time. We ask you to keep your hand on them and bless them so that they can have a good feeling, Lord, of security and the new adventures that they'll be approaching once they walk down the aisle. So we ask that we just want to say thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No, I
Here.
move that we propose that we accept the agenda as presented.
Moved by Caroline, seconded by Benji. All those in favor? Okay, that passes unanimously. Now we will invite Jennifer Johnson. We moved a little quicker than I think she thought we would. Jennifer's going to come up and tell us about some of the really neat things that are going on within our system.
Thank you. We have tons of people outside, and we're trying to get them set up with the TV outside as well so that they can see what's happening in here. But good evening, and we are in graduation season, so we want to say congratulations to all of our graduates. We actually have had a couple of graduations already. We've had our Pitt Academy graduation in January. We have had our early college from Pitt Community College graduate as well, and some special students graduate with certificates, etc. So we've had a few celebrations already, but we are beginning the graduation season, so we want to say congratulations to all of our graduates. But tonight we do have quite a few people. We do have some very tall people again in the house with our Farmville Central basketball team. So without further ado, I would love for the Farmville team to come on in to be recognized. And they're going to fill up around here. And we'll have the Farmville parents come on in.
We'll scoot as far as it'll go.
Wearing their nice state championship shirts here.
That's right.
I'm sure some of them have had exams today.
I know, right?
These are some tall people.
Perfect. It's a great looking crew. We'll call up your coach, and there you go, Mr. Wilson. I didn't know if Mr. Johnson or your coach was going to do that. All right, I'll turn it over to you. And then we'll have a board member recognizing them if they didn't get it.
I get my phone out with my list now to make sure I don't leave nobody out. Okay. Thank you very much. Good evening. I'm Larry Williford, Athletics Director and Head Basketball Coach at Farmville Central High School. It's been a pleasure and an honor to represent Farmville and Pitt County, and doing it through athletics a lot of times is the front porch to your school. And I think these guys here set a great example on the court and off the court, in the classroom, and being leaders in the community. A lot of guys look up to these. Farmville's unique with the elementary school, middle school, and high school, and I can't tell you how many times I go out and I'm at a Little League game or something, and they don't want to say they want to be LeBron James or this person. They say one of our teammates' names. And I think that's the impact that these guys are having in the community and around the, especially the younger kids in the Farmville community. So great year, 32-0. It can't get much better than that. I'm waiting on some confirmation. I believe we were only the first team to have 2 state championships where we went undefeated in both years. 2016 we were 28-0, and this year they had to top them. They went 32-0. So the people next year got a lot of work cut out for them. Now you want me to call them out? Okay.
You can call them out and she'll
Okay.
read it out. Do you need to go to the bathroom and put your T-shirt on, Larry?
No. That's for a special.
Oh, okay. Gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight. I'm going to give each of you a certificate and call your name, and I'm going to go ahead and just read what the certificate says now, but it basically says the Pitt County Board of Education proudly recognizes your name. I'll call you up. For creating excellence in the East. And you'll also get this really nice little token, and maybe you can talk to Mr. Johnson to see if this will buy you something at school. I don't know if it's any sort of currency or not, but you guys can work that out. But I do want to say that we are really, really proud of you. I didn't love basketball until I watched you guys play this year, and then I felt like I was in that burning up gym a whole lot this winter. And I think I wore this dress to Raleigh to see you all play, and several of my board members sat with us when we went to go see you guys play in Raleigh. But anyway, you made us proud, you made our community proud, and I really respect each and every one of you. So if you come up when I call your name, I'm going to ask you what grade you are, and if you're a senior, what you're doing next year. So we don't have very many seniors though, do we?
3.
3, yeah, just 3. Okay, so we'll have a good team here next year as well. Dontavia Short. Here we go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What grade are you in?
10th.
10th grade. Okay. Good. Coming back next year, right? All right. Turquavion Smith. Turquavion. Sorry. And I think we may need to correct the certificate. You're Smith, not Smiths, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get that fixed for you. There you go. Rashay Owens. Turquavion, what grade are you in? 10. What grade are you in?
It's 10th.
10th grade. Okay, you got a young team, coach.
Normally not this quiet, I promise.
Justin Wright. I know you're a junior because you've been going to school with my son for a long time. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Red Foskey. Congratulations.
I'm in 11th.
You're in 11th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're coming back next year too. Randy Harper. Randy, congratulations. Great.
Senior.
Oh, what are you doing next year?
I'm undecided right now.
Undecided. Okay. Well, we'll see you. You have options?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you walk across the stage next Saturday at 3:30. Tay Suggs. Tay, what grade are you in?
10.
10. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Daquavis Wilkins. Congratulations. What grade are you in?
12.
Okay, what are you going to do next year?
I'm playing basketball for Tusculum University.
Good. Well, congratulations.
Where?
Tusculum University.
Tusculum.
Oh, cool.
Leonte
Moy. Congratulations. What grade are you in?
10th.
10? Good. Samaj Teal. They're so quiet.
Well,
Congratulations. What grade are you in?
11.
Okay. Is it exams? They've worn you guys out today?
a lot of them had weight lifting. That one was
Josh Baker. Josh, what grade are you in? Congratulations. What are you going to do next year?
Going to Elizabeth City.
Elizabeth City. Congratulations.
also a great photographer.
Nick Taylor. Nick, congratulations. What grade are you in?
9th.
9? Oh, gosh. You got a young team. Derek Cox. Derek, congratulations. What'd you do your hand?
I sprained it. Yeah.
You gonna fix that before basketball season next year? What grade are you in? Okay, good. Okay, then we have Ronald Reed.
That's Donald's twin. So Donald can come up and sit on behalf of him. We have twin coaches, Donald and Ronald Reed.
Okay.
One's the nice one and one's the fiery one. The fiery one we sit at the end of the bench. And he has to keep up with fouls because it keeps him focused. This is the nice one. He sits beside me.
Congratulations. We couldn't have too much fiery down there on the bench where you are, Larry. I don't think the gymnasiums could handle all that fire on one side of the gym. Okay, so you want me to just give these with you? Okay, so I'll just read the names of the other assistants. It's Tyre Mayo, did I say that right?
Yes.
Justin Foskey, Dennis Pitt, and Juan Barrera. And then, of course, Larry Williford. We're very proud of you. You represent us well, and look forward to your continued leadership.
And on behalf of Farm Central Basketball, I've had the privilege of working in Pitt County Schools for 19 years. Actually, I think Mr. Forbes was principal there for several years. Called him the Eagle. He had a code word. When he was coming around the hall, they'd say the eagle was coming. If you was on your hall, they'd say the eagle was landed. That was back before cell phones and texting. So it was all landline.
I knew, in fact, they made me some T-shirts when I lived.
And when he was on the hall, you better be on point. But I've also had the privilege of working with a lot of superintendents, and I can say that Dr. Linker has attended more Farmville Central athletic events, not just basketball games, but I've seen him at multiple athletic events, and I know he's probably stretched in on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Friday nights, but his presence does not go unnoticed, and I'd like the board to know that it does mean a lot, and people do see him, and he is present, and that's a big deal. So on behalf of the basketball team, so we can give you the
What's your code word for Dr. Linker?
No
code word?
Like I said, the superintendent's coming tonight.
Okay.
I'll start sweeping.
I asked what the code word was for Ethan Linker. You got one for Brad? You have a code word?
No.
Just for a piece of the code word principle.
Well, the first couple years he came in, he was tight.
I'd like to get a picture, so if we could get, so that you guys are in the center there behind the board, so move on around there. The coaches, if you want to fill in on this side, that'd be great. Parents, if you want to come in to get a picture, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to come on in. You're fine.
I'd also like to say one last thing. I forgot to talk about Ron Butler. He's done an outstanding job as our county athletic director. I can't tell you how many times I call and I say, I got a quick question. I normally don't even say hello. I say, I got a quick question, Ron. He always answers his phone, which is a big deal. So I appreciate everything Ron's doing for Farmville and all the other schools.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to photobomb this.
Okay, so make sure you have your
Bright colors on,
certificates up. We got that certificate there. Right here, you have your certificate. Thank you. On three. One, everybody say Jags on three. 1, 2, 3. Jags. There we go.
And now you take it.
A little delayed there. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Watch the cool guy.
I'm Mark.
All right.
Great job, guys.
So next up for recognition is our Hope Middle School Battle of the Books. We have two, as they're coming in, we have two Battle of the Books teams today. So if our Hope Middle School students and coaches could come in.
It is.
I told Carol and she.
Let's see. There you go. Absolutely.
You want him to go up behind? Or do you want me to go behind, Jennifer? Like that?
Sure, that would be great.
Just do them with basketball.
You want to be
Stop
like
right
the
there,
basketball team. Perfect. Okay. I'll turn it over to Ms. Poplin.
Good evening. Thank you for having us tonight. Tonight, I'd like to introduce our media coordinator, Ms. Tracy Below, extraordinaire, and also our Battle of the Books sponsor coach. She's done an amazing job. We're going to let her tell you a little bit about their accomplishments over the past few years, and tonight specifically.
Yes. All right, so this is my Battle of the Books team. Battle of the Books is a middle school reading competition. Actually, elementary and high school also have one. It's sponsored by the North Carolina Association of School Librarians. And this was the 4th time in 5 years that Hope won our district competition, and the 3rd time in 4 years that we won the region and advanced to the state competition. So super proud of this group of kids. By rule, only 12 kids can be on the team, which is a bummer, and we have fierce competition at Hope to make our team. Probably 40, 45 kids come out for it, and I can only keep 12 of them. There's 27 books on the list, so it's a lot of rigor to the reading, and this is in addition to any things that they have to do for their classes. They don't get class credit for any of these books that they're reading. We do try to work smarter, not harder, and double up when we can. When they have assignments, we try to find battle books that will meet their assignment needs as well. But this year at the state competition, this was the closest state competition that I have seen, and I also was a volunteer at the state competition for many years, so I've been to the state competition several times. Only 6 points, and in Battle of the Books terms, that's 2 questions. 6 points separated 3rd place from 6th place. So it was very close, and it came down. We were in the very last round, and it did come down to the last round to see how those 3rd through 6th place teams would shake out. So I'm super proud of this team and the hard work that they put in. We had 6 6th graders on this team, so looking forward to them coming back and having a strong showing next year. So that's our Battle of the Books team.
Miss Below, I'm going to let you help me because I got to seeing some of these names, and I'm sure I won't be able to pronounce them all correctly.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you call them out, and I'll hand them their certificate and medallion. But before we do that, you know, Miss Poplin, come in here just a second. You come here. Turn around, face that group right there. I want y'all to know that Miss Poplin has been a tremendous asset to Hope Middle School. She's been the principal out there, and she's retiring at the end of this year. And we're certainly going to miss her. And she's done a tremendous job for that community and for those students and that staff. I can tell you that staff really loves her.
Yes, we do.
And those students really love her. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't at least recognize that and give her a round of applause. You didn't know I was going to put you on the spot like that, did you? I didn't know I could make you cry either, but I know, well, you did.
But yes, it's been awesome. My 15 years with Pitt County has been amazing. My husband has relocated out of state, and I'm going to join him. It's been a couple years coming, so it's time for us to move our family to the great state of Alabama.
Oh. Okay. All right. We're going to try to line everybody up here.
Okay.
All right, so you call them out.
All right, Nicholas on. He's coming this way.
Nicholas, you stand right there. And congratulations to you. Let me shake your hand. We're going to get a full scope picture here in just a second.
Bushra Benzit.
You see why I didn't want to call out the names, don't you? All right. Congratulations to you. Okay.
Wesley Blakesley.
Wesley, congratulations to you.
Sean Brannigan.
You just line right up just like you're doing. That's good. Right there. Great job, y'all. Good job. I like those purple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baker Brimhall, but he's not here tonight. He was at soccer, I believe. Samuel Fu.
Samuel, stand right there. Congratulations to you, okay? Hold on to you, my dad.
We had Michael Wen, who's also not able to come tonight. Gia Lee.
Gia, come on over here.
I have to step up a little bit, guys, so they can get through.
Stand right there. Put you right in the middle.
And Ji Woo Lee.
Okay. Sit right there. Hold that. Isn't that nice? You didn't get a nice shine today.
Josie Mottsinger.
Certificate for excellence in the East and a nice one.
Taryn Whited.
You stand right there. Hold that. And there's your medallion. Okay.
And Christine is not here. We had one more, yeah, one more sixth grader who's not here.
Isn't this a nice looking group? Let's give them a round of applause. There's a couple of things I do want to say, Madam Chairman, on behalf of the Board of Education. You know, education today, it becomes more competitive all the time. And you just don't know how much we appreciate you letting us, Pitt County Schools, teach your young people. It's a tremendous, tremendous honor for us to do that. And thank you so much for giving us your best. And thank you so much for making your best some of the best in the entire state of North Carolina. Parents, would the parents stand, the parents of these kids, could y'all stand?
Some of them in the hallway, yeah.
Some of them in the hallway, come on. Okay, we really do appreciate that. Let's give the parents a round of applause. Parents may be seated. Ms. Pilo, we want to thank you for creating excellence in the East by working with these young people, because I'm going to tell you something. It's really, really something when you can get young people at this age to really, really have a passion for reading.
Absolutely.
And once you develop that passion for reading, the world is at your command, and you can do almost anything you want to do by reading about it. So we want to thank you very much, Ms. Below. We're going to ask you to get right over here.
All right.
I'm going to give you this, and there's one other thing they've got to do, and that is take a picture. So you stand right over there. Where's Miss Poplin at? Miss Poplin, come on. You stand right back here with me. I'm wearing my pirate outfit this evening.
Perfect. Just scoot together, students, just a little bit, and you were holding those certificates so nicely. Perfect. Hold them up and get a picture. 1, 3, 1, 2.
We've been eating lunch together every Thursday since September. We
Yeah.
like each other.
Give enough for tactics.
Thank you very much. Give them a round of applause.
And we have another Battle of the Books team as well, an elementary Battle of the Books team from Creekside Elementary. Mr. Bryan, if you want to come down, they're coming on in. That'll work. All right, Mr. Brining.
Good evening, and thank you for having us tonight. Our Creekside Elementary Battle of the Books team. Some awesome, awesome kids we have up here. Kids that work hard and show determination. And they just have a joy for reading, a passion for reading, which is important. You know, a ball and the hands and feet can get us anywhere, but the mind is, it's a powerful tool, as we were saying. And to see such young kids, 4th and 5th graders, showing us that, it's amazing. So without further ado, I have Miss Hill, our Battle of the Books and media coordinator, former media coordinator of the year in North Carolina, right? So,
thank you, Mr. Brining. So my name is Meredith Hill, and I am the media coordinator at Creekside. I just want to say thank you, first of all, for inviting us here tonight and recognizing us. That really means a lot. It means a lot to the kids, and it means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Our team has been a really strong team. We've done Battle of the Books for 11 years. We've come in 4th in the county, 3rd in the county. We've come 2nd in the county the last 2 years by 1 point. So it was thrilling this year to finally win and then to go on and win the regionals as well. And the kids just really believed in themselves. They had a lot of confidence. They came together as a community. They supported each other, encouraged each other, and their love of reading was really inspiring. It is by far my favorite part of the job to get to know these kids, to build that community with them, that closeness with them. I love getting to teach all the kids, but I really get to know these kids. And they just are so much fun. They're funny, they're silly, but they also know when to be serious. And they just work so hard. And I'm very, very proud of them. So I just want to say thank you again to you guys for recognizing us tonight, but also thank you to the team for their hard work and for just sharing their joy of reading, which is what it's all about. So thank you again. All right.
Okay, without further ado, let's hand you out some certificates. And it's hard to follow Benji. I have some dance moves I can do for you, but I'll just call your names. But I am really, really proud of you. I have been to several of these Battle of the Books competitions. My own children have been on Battle of the Books teams. And the amount of detail that you all have to memorize from, how many books did they read?
They read 15, but then they each read 3 to 5 more, another 3 times each. So a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot of detail. When the question you're asked is, which hand did you put the gum in that you spit out of your mouth? In the book that you're so the level of detail, which I'm sure to you guys is really fascinating. To the people in the audience, it's overwhelming. But so anyway, the Pitt County Board of Education proudly recognizes Grayson Abel for creating excellence in the East. Grayson, congratulations. And here's your certificate and your coin. And if you would like to just stand over there, we'll line you up for a picture in just a second. Rex Augustin. Congratulations, young man. Here you go. Isabella Calix. Oh, here you are. Congratulations. Thank you. Like those shoes? Kaylee Goff. There you go, young lady. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. Zephin Manning. Congratulations. There you go. And Pranab Mitra. Congratulations. Trey Quinn. Congratulations. Elena Sheeran. Congratulations. Here you go. And last but not least, Mary Beth Wright. Congratulations. That's a good firm handshake. Keep doing that, my friend. Meredith Hill.
Yes, that's me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your dedication and working with these students. We really appreciate you. And Whit Blanchard. Congratulations. We appreciate you working with all of these students. All right, let's line up and see if we can get a picture. Mr. Briney, you're not retiring, are you? Okay. So I don't have to give a speech about Mr. Briney, but he should definitely get in the picture. We may need to, do we need to squeeze in a little?
Yeah. Just a little bit. Good.
Yeah, squeeze. Okay. Yes, you do. Have a wide angle lens. That's right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that home to Mike. Thank you. Congratulations. I'm not right. Okay, that's one thing I had to give up. Yeah. It is. And then I stopped smoking too. I'm about to let myself feel like nuts and cashews and anything. Don't do it, put on weight now.
Next, we're going to call Mr. Marr. to come in. He has a student, so not a team this time, but a student from his school that had quite an award that he'd like to talk to you about.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm proud to have Anna Belo with us here tonight. And she's one of our finest students at D.H. Conley High School. We're very proud of everything that she's done this year and in past year that she was with us. We're especially proud of her recent award from the National Center for Women in Information and Technology. That's a mouthful. NCWIT for short. As a sophomore at D.H. Conley, Anna has been recognized twice by this distinguished organization. She was recently recognized as a rising star, and she is already a star for us at D.H. Conley. At this time, I'd like for Anna to tell us about her NCWIT award and what she did to achieve this recognition. Anna?
Hello, as you said, my name is Anna Belo, and I have been a 2-year recipient of an award from NCWIT under the AIC community, which is the Aspirations in Computing. I learned about this program through robotics. I have participated with Pitt County Robotics, specifically the Pitt Pirate Robotics team, for 2 years now. I have been a part of the marketing team for 2 years, and through that, our main mentor, Ann McClung, has talked to us a lot, specifically the girls, about applying for this NCWIT program. It is a national program that teaches girls and talks to us about the opportunities we have in the STEM community and trying to promote women in STEM in general. I am wearing one of our SWE t-shirts from the Pitt County Robotics SWE Next chapter, and this shirt specifically says, "Watch me change the world." It's talking about how we can make a difference, and NCWIT just kind of motivates us. It builds a community. They actually have a Facebook group, and there's a group chat where all the time people are asking, hey, up in New York, do you know how to get this internship? Does anyone have any information about this internship? Because I just got it. Can anyone provide me any information about how to apply to this specific college? And the girls are so supportive, and it's amazing to be a part of such an amazing community. And I'm so glad I've done it. And where we live, we are part of the Raleigh-Durham Coast affiliate, and I'm so excited to apply again next year and my senior year and try and go for a national award.
That's right. Anna, we're certainly proud of you, and on behalf of the school board, we really appreciate you taking the initiative. I bet when you were growing up, when you were real small, you never thought that you would be in a program like this. And also getting young ladies involved in certain areas that they may not have thought to go in. You know, kids, when they start out real young, they have no idea what they want to be. At least I hope my grandson graduated from preschool this past week, and he said everybody had to stand up there and say what they wanted to be when they got grown, grew up. And he says, when I grow up, I want to be a clown. That's when I got up and left. But I know that your mom's proud of you. And we're just grateful that you are being a leader and a leader for young ladies, and we appreciate all you do. And I want to present you with this on behalf of Pitt County Board of Education. Thank you.
I don't have to go so far up the steps this time. Okay.
You got it?
Thank you, sir.
That was right here. Can you believe it?
We have some math fair and some state science fair winners from Hope Middle School. She's back.
Just couldn't believe I'm back again. Tonight, I have a couple special guests with me. At Hope, one of our 7th grade requirements for all students is to research and develop a math fair project. We have a school-wide math fair From our school-wide math fair, we sent 18 to the regional math fair, and from the regional math fair ECU, we sent 4 to the state-wide math fair. Of those 4, we had 2 that were honored at the state level. Thomas Brand won first place for his project creating an inclinometer, which was used to measure the height of buildings from certain distances away. And then we had Leah Wainwright, who she won 3rd place for her project, which measures hand widths and heights of people to create an equation that can be used to predict a person's height from the width of their hands. So we're super excited to have them here tonight and be afforded the opportunity for recognition from the Board of Education. So thank you for that.
Leah, my whole career is in agriculture, and I knew you could measure a horse by hands, but I didn't know you could measure a person by one. That's wonderful. I don't know if y'all know this or not. When Hope Middle School was being developed and thought of, they were trying to figure out what to name it. And one of the school board members at that particular time, in fact, it was the school board member before that I took their place of. His name was Delano Wilson. And he rode out in that community on that Mills Road 12 or 14 years ago. And there's a little corner of that school property that's owned by a church. And the name of that church was Hopewell, still is, Hopewell Pentecostal Holiness Church. And Delano called me on the telephone and he said, "What's the name of that community?" I said, "The name of the community is the Mills Road." And he said, "Well, you know what? There's a church out there called Hopewell." He said, "Don't you think it would be great to name a school after that church? Take the well off and just call it Hope." And you know what? That's what that school board decided to do at that time. And I think it's one of the best decisions that Pitt County Board of Education could have ever made. Because it's young people like these 2 young people right here that give all of us older adults and seasoned veterans the hope to know that we're in good hands in our future, aren't we? Let's give these 2 young people a round of applause. Leah Wainwright, the Pitt County Board of Education proudly recognizes you for creating excellence in the East. And there's your certificate and medallion. And Thomas Brand, we do the same thing for you as well. And I tell you, you wore the perfect shirt to get a picture in. So you come on. Have we got parents here? Parents, look, we got just 2 tonight, so we got enough room. We can get the pictures of the parents. Come on up.
Come on, King, get in there.
Smile.
Smile very well.
You guys can stand behind there.
Thank you. Come on, you get real close because we're going to put this on Facebook. International.
Okay, one more. On 3. 1, 2.
Good job. Thank y'all.
I told you before I love my job, and this is exactly why. We have a parade of people that are being honored today for their work at Pitt County Schools. And so the last award we have is from Hope Middle School. I'll turn it over.
Thank you guys for having us out tonight. Back in October, we start with a science fair for all of our 6th grade students to have the opportunity to participate in. And some students choose that they want to go on and further compete. And these 4 students behind me won for their respective categories at Hope Middle and advanced to the regional competition, which was held at ECU. And at the regional competition that we had in the end of January, they all 4 placed in their respective categories and advanced to the state competition that was held at NC State. And Gia Lee, for her biological A experiment, and Eliana Havaskas for her chemistry experiment, both placed second in the entire state and won the opportunity to go represent Hope Middle and Pitt County Schools in October for the National Science Fair competition. So we were so thrilled to have the opportunity that all 4 of these students, Gia, Josie, Sean, and Eliana, represented our school so well, and to have 2 winners to go and represent our school and our school system at the national competition was a great achievement for us. So thank you for having us.
Say that name again.
This is Eliana Havaskas.
Eliana.
Yes, sir.
Okay, congratulations to you, Eliana. And this is your certificate and medallion, and congratulations on a job exceedingly well done. And then Gia Lee, okay, your certificate and medallion, and congratulations on a job exceedingly well done. And Josie Motsinger. Josie, isn't that nice? Got it all spelled right too, don't you? Okay, good deal. And Sean Brannigan, last but not least. Right, Sean? Congratulations to you. Let's get a, oh yeah, Miss Malthus. You know, it couldn't have happened without you.
Well,
so we
exactly.
certainly appreciate everything that you've done as well. We're going to stand up here. Parents, would y'all join us at this time? We appreciate you. Come on down. We're going to get this picture.
And Benji, where was the Nationals held in?
Where were the Nationals held in?
It's in October and
Yeah.
Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Okay, if students could move forward and let your parents kind of gather behind, that would be fantastic.
Parents, we really do appreciate you.
So, service guy.
Students. Okay. This is a great
Okay,
picture.
hold up your certificates. Perfect.
Right there. Miss Johnson.
And one more picture.
She can make you look good. Thank you very much. You guys out.
Yeah, yes, she was here. Okay, thank you.
And finally, at this time, we have a special presentation by Mr. Ron Butler.
Good evening. Congratulations to all the winners, and especially the Farmville Central basketball team. You know, watching them all year, but I'm telling you, the most impressed I was before their state game. I was sitting down courtside with a bunch of friends, and they didn't know who we were. And their team came and sat around us before the game, and I was really impressed with how respectful and cordial they were to a bunch of old people like us, which meant a lot. Here tonight, you guys can come on in. It's a very prestigious award. It's given for a health and physical education educator who has gone way above and beyond. Now, these awards are named after Amy Carroll and Sherry Little, which we lost way too young in a tragedy in 1990. And the first award on here actually starts in 1990. Representing Sherry is her 2 children, Matt and Samantha. And that's Matt's 2 children. Samantha's daughter's not feeling that well. In the 29 years, they haven't missed a presentation. So I'd move the presentation I wouldn't move it if the recipient couldn't make it, but I'd move it if they couldn't. So there's a lot more history there. I'm going to speak briefly of the recipient of the award this year because this person has a lot of energy, and this person scares me when they're coming because I know that there's something that I need to help, but I also know if I ever need help, this person's willing to do it. So I'm not going to say anything, but I do want some help from the director of the Exceptional Children's Program, Miss Virginia Gaynor. If you would come up, please. I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a wonderful, wonderful night. If I had known Board of Education meetings were this fun, I would have been coming to a whole bunch. The seat is not quite as hot when we can recognize the children, and I was kidding. Okay, all right. It gives me great honor to stand before you this evening and to help Ron recognize a person that is on my staff. When I became the director of Exceptional Children's Programs, it wasn't long after that I started seeing the gifts that I inherited to help run the special education program. This person is quite energetic. This person is a trailblazer. This person has probably, just by a nose, more energy than I do, and that's saying a lot. And when Ron came to me, he shared with me what he wanted to do, and I was quite humbled by, but not surprised. This person has helped not only to grow our district in terms of children with IEPs that have disabilities to be able to participate and strengthen their physical and mental health. As we know, as we strengthen our physical body, we also strengthen our mental and emotional body. This person has also helped to grow PE teachers to know that they can work with students with mild to even severe disabilities. And lastly, this person has been able to get people to understand who don't have children with disabilities, who are adults that may not have children with disabilities, how much you change when you're able to work and grow and see the gifts of children that are born with various disabilities. And it gives me great honor tonight because I fooled her. I told her we were coming tonight to talk about the adaptive PE program for Pitt County Schools and present it to the board. And I said, do you have my talking points? So she wrote, as if Virginia Gaynor needs talking points. Okay? But without further ado, and on behalf of the Pitt County School District, we'd like to present the Outstanding Health and PE Award to Miss Michelle Mazie.
Thank you. I had no idea. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what? Oh, you want me to say something? Well, I've always looked at this award and thought how honoring it would be. So thank you. And I wish I'd thought about this being a possibility. Maybe I wouldn't be so shocked right now. But I love our students, all of them, and I'm happy that we can show them that PE is for everybody.
That's
so
right.
thank you.
I love you.
I love you. I'm going to go get you.
We're going to get everybody in for a picture.
Thank you.
Virginia, hold this.
Like this.
Okay, 1, 3, 1, 2. Perfect. One more just for good measure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate it.
I've had the good fortune of seeing Miss Mazie in action on multiple occasions, and she really is phenomenal, and her love for her students is super obvious, so congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
very
Thank
proud
you
of
for having me. Thank you.
Okay. We will continue down our agenda. We have now come to public expression, and we have one person signed up for public expression. I'd like to welcome Ms. Lee Guth, who is representing the Pitt County Farm and Food Council. Since you are, well, first of all, thank you for being here.
Good evening.
Since you are representing a group, you have 5 minutes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Linker, board, and staff members. Lee Guth, I am a proud parent of 2 sophomores at D.H. Conley High School and a recent graduate of the Parents for Public Schools from their academy. I'm the Cooperative Extension Director here and also sit on the Pitt County Farm and Food Council. This is a group that was appointed by the county commissioners about 2 years ago, and we have a group of 13 people across the sector of Pitt County, farmers, health educators, local elected officials, restaurateurs, the whole gamut, who are concerned about food and farming in Pitt County. And we work in several areas. We work a lot with nutrition education. We have a group that work on food insecurity, and Pitt County has higher than the state average in food insecurity. And then we also have a group that work on farm and economic development. So I have something that I want to send around because I want to tell you about this. This is the Pitt County Food Finder app, and you can download it on your phone for free. And this was something that we have devised to do a couple of different things, mainly to help our residents in Pitt County find food. And I wanted to bring it to you tonight because once you download it, you'll find that your summer feeding programs are at the top of the list. It's one of the top categories, just been recently added. So when you go to the farm and to the food finder, you can look for different things: hot meals, the summer feeding program, farms and agritourism, food pantries, community gardens, farmers markets, places you can volunteer or want to donate food. So it solves a couple of things. One is helping people locate food if they're in need of food resources. They can also find those here through community services. But if you're looking for a place to pick the very last strawberries of the year, you can find it here. So I just want to demonstrate how this will work. I'm going to go to the summer feeding program, and they're telling me that 0.4 miles away, the Greenville Cultural and Recreation Center has breakfast. The next closest is the Intergenerational Community Center, and they have lunch. When I click on that, it gives me the exact distance, the address, their website, a phone number, and I can even go to a map, and it will show me what is closest to me from a map standpoint. If my phone is set to answer and give me information in Spanish, when you pull up the food finder, in the near future, we will have it in Spanish. That's our next financial investment in making this work. But we hope that it's going to be a resource, especially for families that are getting ready to be out of school, and we know we have numerous children that will be in need. And I just wanted to bring this to you. I hope if you know of other ways that this can be used or other people that need it, please pass it on. And if you know of resources in your community that have a food pantry or have some type of special work with food insecurity, or a great farmer who is selling from his home and we need to know about it, please call us and let us know. We'd like to have them on here. So you can contact us through our website, and that's listed on your card, and we'll be glad to add those things. Any questions for me? Terrific. Thank you. I hope you'll put it to good use.
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Are you with or associated in any way with the North Carolina Food Bank?
So they are part, we actually have someone from the food bank on the Food Council. Karina DeRoche is our current representative of that group, and they have a permanent seat on the Food Council. So their information is listed here, as well as the many, many pantries that they are that main food source for. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Moving now to consent items. Is there a motion to approve the consent items?
I move to approve the consent items as presented.
Okay, moved by Caroline, seconded by Mary. All those in favor? Okay. Thank you. And now on to new business. I'd like to invite Matt Johnson up to talk to us about a water line easement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I've got a couple of aerial views to show you in just a second. Greenville Utility Commission has brought to us the request for an easement for a water line on the Wintergreen Intermediate property. The purpose of this easement is to actually connect an existing water line with water service to an existing pump station that is actually on our property already. There's actually 2 easements right here, one for the sewer system as well as one for the existing water line. Go back, scroll back up a little bit. If you'll zoom in on that for me just a little bit, that'd be awesome. So the clouded area is the area where the easement will be, as well as the 2 current easements that are already in place there on the property. If you go to the next slide, let me just scroll down. So this is a blow up of the actual highlighted area. And what you see here is the blue line that runs across the page and at an angle a little bit is the existing water main that is on the property. The red square that you see in the middle of the page there is actually the pump station that is existing. And there's a red line that connects the tip of the red square over to the actual water line. That is the existing water line. That is the proposed water line and the proposed easement on the property. So it's across that. The easement is approximately 35 feet long by 10 foot wide. At this time, there is no intent for us to build there, have anything there, move there. We do not see any reason not to grant Greenville Utilities this easement to connect the actual water line to the sewage pump station that is there. So our recommendation is for the board to grant Greenville Utilities the easement for the value of $1. Which is typical for us with Greenville Utilities throughout our sites in Pitt County. Are there any questions on the easement or what its purpose will serve?
Carolyn?
I move that we grant Greenville Utilities the easement that they request and sell it to them for $1 on the Green School property.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
I would now like to invite Kylene Dibble, who is the Executive Director of Parents for Public Schools, to come share with us all that she has learned this year from parents and stakeholders about what's going on in our schools.
Good evening. I think all of you know that I'm Kylene. I'm with the Parents for Public Schools of Pitt County. I do want to thank all of you here tonight, Madam Chairwoman, board members, Dr. Linker, and everyone in attendance for being here and letting us talk with you tonight. I do realize that most of you are by now familiar with the programs of Parents for Public Schools, but just in case there's someone in the room who's not, I want to make sure that you know about our programs. I also want to thank Devontae for being here tonight. He was our MSW intern this year, and he'll be speaking with me in just a second. But just to let you know about some of our programs, we have 3 main programs. Our Parent Engagement Program, which just recently graduated 14 people here in this room. You may have seen that. Actually, Lee, who was just here, was one of our graduates, and a couple of other graduates in the room here as well. And we do school tours. We've done over 200 school tours this year for families and community members and elected officials. Our funding mainly comes from Z. Smith Reynolds, Smith Family Foundation, United Way of Pitt County. Greenville Chamber of Commerce is a big supporter of ours, and the Pitt County Education Foundation gives us financial support as well. And so I do want to talk with you tonight about our Community Conversations program. That's why we come to you each year in June. Devontae will tell a little bit in just a couple of minutes about how the information is collected, but basically tonight is our 5th annual Community Conversations report. It's been compiled over the last year with comments from community members. I often tell community members to think of us as a car. They put their voices in the car, and then we drive their voices to you. So that's how I think of this report and what we'll have to say tonight. But Devontae has really been kind of the mastermind behind this report this year. He has gone with me to numerous conversations. We've spent a lot of time together the past year, and he helped put together the report tremendously. So I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about how the information is gathered, and then I'll talk to you a bit about our findings and some recommendations from parents and community members.
All right, so thank everybody for having me here tonight. As Colleen said, I'm Devontae Arrington. I was her Master of Social Work intern for this past year. And so for this past year, we reached out to numerous groups and asked for a spot on their meeting agenda so that we could facilitate our community conversations with them. A lot of times we would have groups reach out to us just in case, they heard about us through word of mouth and they want to come out and speak with us if they like what we were doing. And so in this year total, we had a total of 26 community conversations throughout Pitt County with a total of 370 people. These groups included civic groups, they include philanthropic groups, there were PTA members, there were parenting groups and nonprofit groups and just things like that, just to name a few. Of course, if anybody else have any contacts who are watching this and they want us to link us up to, we're always looking to do more community conversations, so just kind of link up and let us know. Each community conversation is conducted the same way, where we ask the exact same 6 questions, sometimes fewer depending on time constraints, and we just don't have time to get through all of them. Participants are given the opportunity to either write their questions down if they don't want to speak them aloud. We offer them a transcript of the questions, and they can write them down on the sheet, or they voice them aloud, and whoever's transcribing the community conversation will write them on the board for everyone to see. And it's always anonymous. And the questions we ask are for the following: what's going well in Pitt County, what could be improved, what participants have experienced in terms of customer service as far as they walk into a school, how they're perceived, how they perceive things, thoughts about population size changes, thoughts about potential bullying trainings that we're thinking about having here in Pitt County, and anything else generally they want to share with us that's not necessarily on the sheet, but they have an interest in or they want to know more about, which we offer time for that as well. And so that's my spiel, and so now I'll turn it back to Kylie.
Okay. So Devontae just explained the questions, so I won't go over those again, but I'll tell you kind of the top themes that came from each question this year. With the first one, conversations never have a hard time starting. And so our first question is what's going well, and people are always very eager to talk about what's going well with Pitt County schools, and that's really encouraging. So the biggest things that came up this year, number one was security measures. And that's really interesting because that was one of the top concerns last year. And this year, parents were really glad that their voices were listened to and their concerns were addressed. So they were very happy with security measures that have been put in place this year. They're also really happy with the CTE courses that are happening in the schools. And they hope that those continue and can just branch out. So things like continuing to connect with the chamber for Grow Local and just all types of experiences that increase their CTE awareness among our high schoolers. As we talked about needs, there was one need that arose, and it won't surprise any of you. It was the need to update school facilities and build new facilities in some cases. I come to all the Board of Ed meetings. You all are at all the Board of Ed meetings. You all know the long process that takes, and you know that it's been addressed. There's even been votes this year to address those things. So really the only recommendation was just that, and we could even help to get the information out to parents, that parents understand more of the process, that it's a very tedious process, it is a long process, and that you all are working on it. So we want to make sure that parents know that that's happening, because it is, and so we want to sort of brag on you. Another need that came up was that a lot of parents thought about programs that are offered at one school and wanted to see them offered at all schools. And so something great might be happening at one school and they wanted to see it offered at each other school. And so again, just doing an incredible job of getting media out when great programs are happening at schools, making sure it's just well publicized so that our community does know that every school is doing really good things, and sometimes they're doing things that fit their community. And so helping parents understand that is something that we're striving to do, and I think we can work together to strive with that. As we talked with parents about being customers of Pitt County schools, what we heard over and over was that parents feel welcome when they walk in the front doors, and that's what we hoped to hear. And I think you all, as people who manage our schools, should be really proud to know that that's the majority of what people feel. One concern that came up was honestly also not a surprise, and it's related to one of the greatest praises. New security measures were put in. So some parents felt like, we're really glad for the security measures, but now that there's a buzzer and an extra wall, it feels more sterile. And so finding some sort of balance between doing the security measures and also making them feel welcome it's a hard task, I think, on everyone's plates, but I think it's something parents are looking for.
One suggestion that specifically came from our Hispanic participants was that sometimes they don't have a North Carolina license, and so they may have other forms of ID. They're not always recognized by the front desk staff, and so sometimes it's hard for them to get in the schools and be involved. And so they just asked that our front desk staff be familiar with various types of ID so that all parents can be really involved in the schools and not face any kind of resistance because their ID is just unfamiliar. And that's an understandable thing. As we talked about population growth in Pitt County, of course, there were varied opinions. It's hard to determine a theme. I will say what I was most surprised to hear this year was that several parents talked about being in favor of a possible redistricting down the road. It was not met with the resistance that I expected when we talked about all the various options for dealing with population growth. Some parents felt like, I know, you're as surprised as me. Some parents felt like the current lines have their children going to schools that are too far away from their houses, and they'd like to see some things redrawn with an extreme amount of communication around that, if it ever happened. And we know there's nothing on the table for that, but just as we talked about possibilities down the road, parents were open to it, just with a lot of communication around it. And let's see, there was one more thing there. They did say if redistricting ever became a possibility that they'd like to see feeder patterns stay together. So if you went to elementary school, you ended up at high school together. So they'd like to see that. Of course, there were lots of comments about open enrollment being a positive thing. There were a few parents that would like to see new schools built. Those are common comments that come up every year, really. When we began our community conversations last May for this year, there was this thought of putting together a bullying awareness training for parents, and it was just a thought. But in April of 2019, with the help of a committee from Pitt County Schools, Parents for Public Schools, some of our community members, we did put together a bullying training, and it was delivered in April. Much of that training was planned based on comments that came up in the community conversations. And probably the most common comment was that parents wanted to understand definitions. They wanted to know what's the definition of bullying versus teasing versus a mean moment. What does that look like? So that was a large part of the training that was implemented that several folks put together. And that training is one that we hope can be replicated and done throughout different attendance areas next year, as we not only educate our students about bullying, but we educate parents about bullying. That's a key component. So that question was very helpful throughout the year as we developed that. As we look at the anything else part of our community conversation, again, the top thing that came up was around life skills and the CTE courses. So people talked about things like writing checks and balancing a bank statement and just lots of things like that. And so they asked that the school system really keep an eye out for any opportunities to integrate that into current classes or even develop other classes, and to keep an eye out for businesses. You know, we have current local welders who teach in our schools and things like that. So just to keep your eyes open for more of those types of jobs who can teach classes in our schools. And again, just to connect with things like Grow Local, chances to shadow, chances to maybe do a future apprenticeship. Opportunities like that were very important to the people that we talked with. So the report in front of you, it includes an executive summary, which has a lot of what I just said. It also includes every word of every conversation we had this year. So the front portion is the summary. The back portion is literally the voices of your community. So I hope after tonight that you'll just take an opportunity to read through those and just use this as you need to or as you see fit as a tool throughout the year as you're making policies for our students. I really can't thank you all enough for the incredible amount of time and work that you put into the job of being on the Board of Education. You have a really hard job in front of you. You have a lot of people that you're trying to please, and that's never possible. So I'm just so thankful that each of you dedicates so much time to this job
and you put so much thought into the policies that you make. And our parents are feeling that. They're feeling heard, they're feeling valued, and that comes because of the way that you present yourselves and you work together. So I am so proud to be a parent in Pitt County, and I'm so very thankful for a board that puts so much into this work. So thank you, and I appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you for being here. Does anybody have any questions for Darlene? I know we'll all want to kind of dig in and digest this, but thank you for the extraordinary amount of work that you guys put into making this into, for me, a wonderful format for us to kind of dig in and see what's going on. You know, from our parents and stakeholders. It's very important to us. And I'm encouraged to hear that people are feeling heard, because I speak for all of us, we are trying very hard to listen and to hear. So we appreciate your time and effort as well, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
So now we are at the closing comments portion, so I will turn it over to Dr. Linker, and then we will start with Benji tonight, after that.
First, just remind everyone that Thursday night is Pitt Academy's graduation, their second graduation of the year, and then the traditional high schools will start Friday, and then all day. So, and also just, if you haven't noticed, we have Mr. Paul Bryan and Monica Jacobson in the audience this evening. They are representing the principals and assistant principal organizations for Pitt County. So they'll be, I don't know if they realize when they got elected to this job, they had to come to board meetings, but they will be representing our principals, and as we know, we'll be doing a great job. We'll be welcoming them this evening.
Madam Chairman, just a very brief comment. It's that time of year again that we celebrate with all of our parents and students, faculty and staff. The graduations that will be going on at the end of this week, culmination of a lot of hard work and dedication of students to prepare themselves for the job market, or to prepare themselves for future careers, or prepare themselves to further their education. We celebrate with them, but I continue to hope and wish that we do all that with excitement, but at the same time that we do it with a reverence and with a respect that we all know that needs to be carried out in order that everyone can really appreciate the value of the celebration of those young people. So that's what I would encourage, and that's all I have to say.
Did y'all mark this down? The quickest comments by Benji on record. Tracy.
You're hard to follow, Benji. I just really kind of echo what he said. It's been a great night of celebrations with the athletic, the Jaguars, last night, state championship, and the Battle of the Books. There's just a lot of good things going on to celebrate across our county, which is wonderful. I always love hearing the great things. And I just wanted to emphasize about the summer meals program that are available at our schools, and I hope that all of the people that could benefit from that will seek out those resources.
Mr. Forbes?
I also had down about the graduations. You know, during this time of the year, really all of our staff, kindergarten staff on up through the 12th grade, is just not the senior teachers. But it's taken the whole group, the whole school, to get that kid to the point where they are right now. And we should congratulate all our seniors, because we know through experience how the world is out there. And we hope that as a part of the family unit, being the parents as well as the school system and as well as the community, we have helped prepare these young people to be able to live up to what faces them. Many of them will go to a 4-year college, some may go to a 2-year college, and some may enter the job force right out of high school. But yet we want them to be productive citizens. And I think it does take a top quality school system to play a part in that. And I think Pitt County Schools does a great job in readying the students for their careers, and for it's really they've come to a new plateau in their life. They'll reach another one once they get out of college, and then they'll reach another one in regards to a job. But the whole story of life is improving yourself and being able to live successful. And that's what I hope for all these students. Can't believe I went longer than Benji.
I want to shout out to just the incredible display tonight. I felt like it was a showcase of the best of the best. It was pretty impressive to see all the students and teachers and principals who made the excellence in the East kind of a refrain in Pitt County schools. And so it's a really wonderful thing. Thank you too to Kylene and Devontae. Y'all did a fantastic job with this report. It is really impressive, and I cannot wait to look at it. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the bullying training that you piloted in April, and I do think that that would be a great thing to figure out how to get on the web and repeat it in different parts of our county, because I do think parents are hungry for information so they can better understand what their children are telling them, bringing home from school. I want to echo Tracy's remarks about the food sites at our schools. We have 17 sites serving summer meals, including in Ayden, Bethel, Farmville, Greenville, Pactolus, Winterville. And it's a really simple text. You can text Food NC to 877-877, and it will pop up where the breakfast and the lunches are and when they're being served. It's from June 13th to August 9th, in addition to Lego's fabulous app. But I'd also like to mention something very sad and tragic that happened a few weeks ago. Wintergreen School students and staff lost a beloved teacher unexpectedly in May. And Kathy Kirkland, the principal there, has done an outstanding job in helping the whole Wintergreen family cope with the loss as best as can be expected. I'd like to ask everyone to keep the Furlow family close to your hearts in the coming months and years as they deal with this loss for the rest of their lives. And I guess it's a call, at least it's a reminder for me, and I hope all of us, to just be a little bit kinder in our interactions, as we never know what anyone is struggling with internally any day.
Thank you. Amy? Everybody's given great comments. The one thing that stood out to me tonight, besides all of the wonderful things that we saw, was the girl's shirt that said, "Watch me change the world." And as we go through all these graduation ceremonies, I can't wait to see what all these seniors are going to do and how they're going to change the world. So I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing the progress that they make as they go on to their next adventure. Thank you.
Melinda. Congratulations to everybody that was here this evening to receive awards. I do want to tag on to, I don't know if you're aware, Mr. Briney, but on the Battle of the Books team for Creekside, there was actually a student that's very good at math. I was at that competition when they won, and you could see the wheels turning in his head. He was calculating the points, and he knew exactly when they answered the last question that put them as winners. And I thought that was so cool to see this guy. I mean, you could see it on his face. It was like, yes, we won. And before they were even done, they were still up there answering questions. So that was kind of neat. There's still exams being going on. I went to Walcoats and Proctor last week, and thank you for that opportunity. It was great. I'll be at Rose Thursday this week. And the other thing was, when I was at Walcoats, we did the ribbon cutting since our last meeting for their playground, and I kept looking at Michelle Maisie, and I thought, where do I know her from? Where do I know her from? Well, I met her at the event for the ribbon cutting because it was a playground for not only it was for like the disadvantaged children, and it was awesome. And she was there, and we were discussing about her adaptive PE because I have a child that's at Rose, and was telling her that she's really interested and she enjoys working with the special students. And I've got a Girl Scout who's in her adaptive PE class that helps those students, and I just think that that is a phenomenal thing that she's doing. I'm glad to see that she received the award because she's really doing great things in the school systems, because she left and she was actually going to another, I think it was Hope that she was going to that day, but well deserved for that. Good luck again on the finals this week. And a shout out to, I see we have a Boy Scout here tonight. I don't know if this is to earn a merit badge or a requirement. We thank you for coming. We appreciate that. So anyways, that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Okay, I would like to say congratulations to all our Best of the East for Pitt County Schools, and congratulations to all the hard work that these kids have put in to graduate soon, and their parents. You know, be proud, but don't get rowdy at graduation where you just don't hear your next child name being called. That's just rude. So we got to be mindful of those things and others and everything. But I would also like to say that since I've been a member of the Pitt County School Board, there's other organizations that you can be a part of by being a board member. And one of those is the North Carolina Caucus of Black School Board members. And our former colleague, Ms. Mildred, and I, we're chair and vice chair of the scholarship committee that we started probably about 4 years ago. And this year we were able to award 3 scholarships at $500 apiece for students across the state of North Carolina. We had 7 applicants, and of the 7 applicants, all school districts throughout the state were, you know, we just didn't get a lot, you know, back in certain situations. And I guess the more knowledge of it and awareness of it, we'll get more recipients. But we're able to give 3 $500 scholarships to Sampson and Clinton City schools, one in Cumberland County and the other one right here in Pitt County. Mm-hmm. So I'm very proud of that. And the students that we chose are going to volunteer in civic groups, you know, to pay it forward and everything. So hopefully we'll be able to continue it. But with the help of myself and Miss Mildred, we got that done. So other than that, you know, thank everybody for coming tonight.
I think everybody has said just about everything about graduations. I do want to mention that this is the first year when you look in your program at graduation that you'll see the Latin honor system. And so I want to thank the principals at the high schools, because I know that is a lot of work for them right after they finish exams to go through and start calculating magna, summa, and cum laude. So we're excited to see all of those accolades that our students are going to receive. Also, pay attention to all the different chords and the stoles that our students have on. There's so many different opportunities here in Pitt County Schools for our students to participate in many different career and technical organizations and honor organizations and in service organizations. And you're going to see that at graduation. In fact, you'll hear them coming. They'll be clinking as they're walking up to the stage. And that's always such a joy for me. And I guess the last thing, Colleen, thank you for sharing your report. And I guess we really need to partner more with educating our parents. I think parents think that the Pitt County Board of Education can build schools. And I think the parents think that the Pitt County School Board of Education can do a lot of things that we really need to educate our parents about what we can do and what our county commissioners do and what our state legislators do. And I think that's really important for our community to understand that. Also, last but not least, I do want to thank all of my fellow board members. I think when we get to the end of the school year, we're like, shoo, we made it through another school year. You get a lot of parent phone calls throughout the year. We have a lot of tough conversations and a lot of meetings. We spend a lot of time together. And I know it's not really, I guess our year doesn't really ever end, but I feel like when we get to the end of the school year that we've spent a lot of time together, and I consider it a victory, and it's been a joy to work with each one of you.
Okay. First of all, I would second the shout out to the handsome Boy Scout who I happen to know, and he and his family unfortunately are leaving Pitt County and decided just before their departure that he was going to come and sit through a board meeting. So thank you, Mr. Delbridge. We appreciate it. I would just, echo everything that everybody has said. Our senior staff was quiet tonight because we were recognizing so many kids, but, the end of the year is happening and everybody's kind of taking that, that exhale. But our senior staff is just gearing up for next year. And so I just want to thank you all. We can't thank you enough for the behind the scenes. Every year I become more and more aware of how critical you are and what you do. And we truly couldn't function without you. So recognizing that while the rest of us are thinking about the beach and this and that, I hope all of you get to go to the beach as well, but things are just getting geared up, and they're already thinking about next year and the years beyond. So we appreciate having such a forward-thinking senior staff and superintendent that doesn't just look to what's right in front of us, but more what the future is and how we can continue to build on the good things that we're doing here. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn, Madam Chair.
Is there a second? A seconded by Caroline. All those in favor of adjourning, so Benji can go cheer on the Pirates. All right,
Two to
meeting
nothing
adjourned.
Pirates, and all of a second.